aligns the link to why we thought that was great. Really appreciate it. Are you asking him a question? We're going to be here for fucking hours.
Okay, did you catch that? I'll show you in slow motion. The security guy in the blue and Charlie's bodyguard in the tent looked at their watch simultaneously, which my guess would be they received some kind of alert that I'm guessing Charlie's entire security crew got. So what kind of alert would they get? Could it be some type of signal? I've seen the videos people have posted of others, including the bodyguard in the tent, giving what looked to be hand signals seconds before the shooting. But I have not seen this footage here, so I was hoping someone may have an idea what kind of alert that this could have been. Because if we can get an answer to that, then that could possibly help us get an answer to something else, and so on and so forth.
Bring the best lives that Utah has to offer.
Utah, September 10th, 2025, a day that began like any other for the thousands gathered at Utah Valley University. They came for an event, a chance to hear a voice they trusted, to witness a leader in person, Charlie Kirk, standing at the podium, addressing the crowd with energy and conviction. The applause was thunderous, the smiles were wide, the cameras were rolling. Every angle seemed accounted for, every detail captured, or so it appeared. But then the world shifted in a single moment. Shots rang out, chaos erupted, lives changed forever. Questions flooded every mind. How could this happen in a space designed for safety? How could a man so carefully protected be struck in plain sight? And now, newly released cam footage has emerged showing movements, gestures, and behaviors from the very people entrusted with his safety, his security team, that make this sequence of events harder to understand and harder to accept. Was Tyler Robinson acting alone? Or was there a gap, a failure, a choice made by those meant to keep him safe? Every glance, every pause, every hand movement captured on these cameras now invites a question that no one can answer yet. When protection fails, who bears the responsibility? As we examine the footage, the timeline, and the roles of those closest to Charlie Kirk that day, we will uncover a story that goes beyond a single act of violence. A story that touches on trust, duty, and the burden of choices made when lives hang in the balance. To follow every revelation, every new development, and to break open the case with us, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss a single detail as we unravel the events of that day.
Charlie Kirk, a name that resonates across campuses, political circles, and media platforms. Founder of Turning Point USA, a conservative commentator, a public figure whose voice reaches thousands each day. On September 10th, 2025, he stood at the center of attention, delivering a message to an eager crowd at Utah Valley University. The energy was high. Cameras and smartphones recorded every moment. And yet, amid the excitement, there were layers of preparation designed to keep him safe. Tyler Robinson, 22 years old, now stands at the center of the investigation. Official records confirm he has been charged with aggravated murder and additional counts stemming from that day. Prosecutors are pursuing the most serious penalties, citing premeditation and planning. Forensic evidence, including DNA recovered from the firearm and ballistic analysis, firmly links Robinson to the weapon used. These are the facts that have been verified and documented by law enforcement. The event itself was designed to be secure. Utah Valley University, a large campus hosting thousands of attendees, had multiple layers of security. Personal bodyguards surrounded Kirk, secondary teams monitored the crowd and exits, and an outer ring handled communications and surveillance. On paper, it appeared tightly organized. In reality, questions have arisen not from the official investigation, but from newly released footage showing unusual movements and behaviors from the very people assigned to protect him. It is important to separate what is known from what is speculated. Robinson's role is confirmed by evidence. The claims regarding gaps or missteps within the security team remain unverified. Yet as the footage is studied, these moments raise questions that investigators, journalists, and the public are now compelled to ask. When a plan is meant to protect life, what happens when actions or inactions fail to align with that duty? Every detail, Every glance, every pause on that day contributes to the story. And as we continue, we will examine those details carefully, distinguishing the verified truth from speculation while uncovering the broader context in which this tragedy unfolded.
The newly released footage of that day has captured the attention of investigators, journalists, and the public alike. For the first time, multiple angles from private cameras have become available, showing previously unseen moments in the minutes leading up to the shooting. Every frame carries weight, every movement becomes a potential clue, and every gesture now commands scrutiny. What the footage shows is both precise and subtle. Security personnel trained to act immediately in the event of danger appear to glance at their watches, adjust positions, and exchange brief gestures. These actions, ordinary in the context of a large event, now take on added significance. Every movement is being examined, a shift of stance, a hand raised, eyes scanning the crowd. The cameras themselves tell another story. While they were positioned directly on Charlie Kirk, publicly released clips appear grainy, sometimes obstructed, and lacking the clarity expected from professional-grade equipment. It is confirmed that official footage exists and is held by law enforcement. The limited release of high-quality recordings has raised questions online, but at this stage, there is no evidence to suggest intentional concealment. The footage reveals unusual patterns. Whether these are routine security procedures or something more deliberate remains under investigation. And yet, as observers review the frames, one question keeps surfacing. Could these movements, these subtle behaviors, have influenced what happened that day? Each pause, each glance, each step captured in the video adds to a growing tension. The footage does not provide answers, but it does demand them. It challenges us to consider the responsibilities of those tasked with protection and the consequences when the line between preparation and inaction becomes uncertain.
Charlie Kirk's security team was structured in layers, each designed to anticipate and prevent any threat. The inner circle consisted of personal bodyguards positioned within arm's reach, tasked with immediate protection. Surrounding them was the secondary layer, stationed along the perimeter and near exits, watching for any irregular movement among the crowd. The outer ring handled surveillance, radio coordination, and communication with campus authorities, an interconnected network intended to react before danger could even reach the stage. But the newly released footage and internal reports have revealed anomalies in this carefully designed system. Some officers were observed away from their assigned posts in the minutes leading up to the shooting. Radio transmissions were absent or delayed, and several cameras went offline for brief periods at critical moments. These verified irregularities have prompted intense scrutiny, raising the question, how could multiple layers of trained professionals experience lapses at the very moment they were needed most? It is crucial to emphasize, at this stage, that no official charges have been filed against any member of Kirk's security team. Tyler Robinson remains the only individual formally accused and linked to the shooting. Yet, as analysts and online investigators review the footage, speculation has grown about whether these gaps inadvertently allowed the events to unfold as they did. For Charlie Kirk, a public figure accustomed to attention and influence, the trust he placed in his team was absolute. That trust, and the moment it faltered, created a shockwave that extended far beyond the stage. The audience, the staff, and the family watching from afar all experienced the raw vulnerability of a moment that was meant to be safe. The human element here is undeniable. A leader relied on trained professionals, and yet, for reasons not fully understood, the lines of defense were tested in ways no one anticipated. Every shift of a guard, every pause, every silent second now carries meaning in the ongoing investigation. And as we continue, we must ask ourselves, how much did these moments of hesitation, however brief, shape the path of that day's tragedy?
Tyler Robinson, 22, has become the focal point of this investigation. The confirmed facts are clear. Investigators recovered messages in which Robinson confessed his intent, DNA evidence linked him to the rifle trigger, and reports indicate he had been planning this attack for more than a week.
These pieces of evidence form the backbone of the prosecution's case, and they establish a premeditation that cannot be ignored. Yet beyond the physical evidence lies the question of mindset. Robinson's behavior prior to the attack points toward a trajectory of isolation, fueled perhaps by ideological echo chambers online or digital communities that reinforced extreme beliefs. Psychological assessments suggest a combination of impulsivity and calculated planning. He appeared determined, methodical, and focused on achieving notoriety or acting in what he perceived as ideological justice. It is essential to acknowledge the limits of our understanding. While text messages and digital footprints provide insight into Robinson's thinking, they cannot fully explain why he acted as he did. Any analysis of motive remains partly speculative. Investigators, psychologists, and legal experts continue to piece together the factors that shaped his actions, seeking a clearer understanding of how these decisions emerged. The legal consequences are severe. Robinson faces charges that carry the possibility of the death penalty, in part due to the presence of children in the venue and the premeditated nature of the act. These aggravating factors elevate the case from a tragic incident to one of the most serious criminal prosecutions in recent memory, underscoring the weight of every choice, every warning, and every lapse that day. As we continue, it becomes clear that the story is not only about one individual's actions, but about the ripple effects those actions have on families, on communities, and on the public trust placed in those who are supposed to protect life.